Beneath our feet, this blue marble we call home is a water world. 70% of its surface is covered by oceans, and 96% of its liquid water churns within the vast, salty seas. In simple terms, Earth is practically a planet soaked in water. But guess what? Despite being surrounded by these endless oceans, how much of them have we truly explored? Less than 5%. That's about the same as our understanding of the universe itself. From the calm surface to the deepest abyss, this 10,000-meter vertical journey hides countless mysteries, some of which could completely change what we think we know. In our last video, we descended 1,500 meters into the deep. This time, we're going even deeper to uncover the secrets lurking in the abyss. Welcome to Enigma Files. Now, let's dive deeper to 1,700 meters, or 5,577 feet. At this depth, you wouldn't expect to find a land animal, right? But surprisingly, there is one, the southern elephant seal. This is the largest species of seal, and as its name suggests, it has a massive nose resembling an elephant's trunk. A fully grown southern elephant seal can weigh up to 5 metric tons, or 11,000 pounds, and reach a length of nearly 7 meters, or 23 feet. Yet, despite its size, it can dive to these incredible depths with ease. Now, let's push further down to 2,000 meters, or 6,562 feet, a truly terrifying depth. Here, we find a creature that looks like it came straight from an alien planet, the black dragonfish, Idiocanthus atlanticus. This fish is jet black, with sharp needle-like teeth and a long, glowing barbel hanging from its chin, like a tiny light bulb in the abyss. In total darkness, its bioluminescent lure attracts unsuspecting prey. Other creatures can't see its black body, only the glowing light. So when they swim closer, it ambushes them from the shadows and devours them. Now, descending to 3,000 meters, or 9,843 feet, we officially enter the deep sea zone. At this level, the water temperature is near 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, or 34 to 36 degrees Fahrenheit. There is zero light, absolute darkness. The pressure is over 300 times the atmospheric pressure at sea level. At this extreme depth, fish become rare. But there is one gigantic exception, the sperm whale. This is the deepest diving whale species, capable of reaching depths of 3,000 meters, or 9,843 feet. What brings it down here? One thing, hunting the colossal giant squid. The giant squid, despite its enormous size, rarely ventures deeper than this depth. Sperm whales hold their breath for over an hour, dive down, and search for these squid in the darkness. How do we know giant squids are abundant in these waters? From the stomachs of sperm whales. When scientists examined dead sperm whales, they found their stomachs filled with thousands of giant squid beaks. Unlike the squid's soft body, its beak is hard and indigestible, remaining in the whale's stomach. Here's a crazy fact. Each year, sperm whales around the world are estimated to eat 5 million giant squids. Just imagine how many must be lurking in the deep. And there's another fascinating discovery. Inside the stomach of sperm whales, these giant squid beaks mix with digestive fluids over time, forming a rare, waxy substance known as ambergris. Ambergris has a distinct fragrance and has been prized by royalty for centuries. It was used to make luxury perfumes, incense, and even medicine. Now, let's dive deeper to 3,800 meters, or 12,467 feet. At this depth, something legendary rests on the ocean floor, the Titanic. In 1912, the Titanic, along with Jack and thousands of others, sank to this very depth. More than a century has passed, yet the ship remains untouched, never salvaged. It has been officially recognized as a World Underwater Cultural Heritage Site, meaning it is now protected from recovery efforts. The only way to see it is to dive down yourself. Even James Cameron, the director of Titanic, has personally visited the wreck 33 times. Now, descending further to 4,000 meters, or 13,123 feet, we encounter a terrifying deep-sea predator, the Sloane's viperfish. This fish has razor-sharp, elongated fangs, perfectly designed for trapping prey. Food is extremely scarce at this depth, so when the viperfish bites down, it never lets go. Its survival depends on it. Going even deeper, we reach 6,000 meters, or 19,685 feet. At this depth, we enter the Hadal Zone, or the ultra-deep sea. In 1989, Japan's Shinkai 6500 submersible made history by reaching 6,500 meters, or 21,325 feet. Then, in 2012, China's Jiaolong submersible broke the record, diving to an incredible 7,000 meters, or 22,966 feet. Now, pushing further to 8,178 meters or 26,831 feet, we reach the deepest depth where fish have ever been found. In April 2017, a Chinese deep-sea exploration team made a groundbreaking discovery. At just over 8,150 meters or 26,738 feet, they spotted a ghostly white fish. A few months later, in August 2017, a Japanese research team found the exact same species at the same depth. To test their behavior, they dropped shrimp as bait, and the fish eagerly swam over to eat. This mysterious species remains officially unnamed. But for now, scientists call it the Mariana snailfish. Could it survive at even greater depths? Or are there other undiscovered fish lurking even deeper? For now, we just don't know. Now, let's dive to a staggering 10,660 meters or 34,977 feet. At this crushing depth, scientists discovered something truly bizarre. A giant, single-celled organism known as a naphiophore. Despite being just one cell, it measures an astonishing 20 centimeters or 7.9 inches across. To put this in perspective, the cells in our bodies are microscopic, completely invisible to the naked eye, but this creature is a single cell the size of a human hand. It looks leaf-like, but it's not a plant, just a primitive, ancient organism that has existed for hundreds of millions of years. Perhaps, back in those ancient times, all single-celled life was this enormous. All right. Now let's take a look at the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. At its very bottom lies the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth, plunging to an astonishing depth of 11,034 meters or 36,201 feet. Surprisingly, this depth was first measured back in the 1950s. But how was it done? Sonar technology back then could only reach about 1,000 to 2,000 meters, 3,280 to 6,560 feet. Nowhere near deep enough to map the trench. So scientists used a different method: bombs. They dropped explosives into the trench, and when the bomb detonated, it created a shock wave. By analyzing the time it took for the sound waves to bounce back, they calculated the trench's depth. Who has actually been down there? So far, only 4 people have ever reached this extreme depth. That's fewer than the number of people who have walked on the moon. The first 2 to make the descent were in 1960. Don Walsh and Jacques Picard. They piloted the bathyscaphe Trieste and reached a depth of 10,916 meters, 35,814 feet. But their journey wasn't easy. It took them 5 hours to reach the bottom, and just as they arrived, one of their windows cracked. Realizing the danger, they immediately resurfaced. But before leaving, they observed something incredible. A flatfish and shrimp-like creatures were alive at this crushing depth. The next dive wouldn't happen for another 52 years. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron, funded by National Geographic and Rolex, descended solo to the Challenger Deep. He spent over 2 hours on the seafloor. According to Cameron, the ocean bottom was like the surface of the moon, a barren, lifeless wasteland. The only creatures he saw were tiny, 3-centimeter-long shrimp-like organisms. The most recent visit happened in 2019. In April and May, an American investor and deep-sea explorer, Victor Vescovo, made history by reaching 10,928 meters, 35,853 feet. The deepest solo dive ever recorded. But what did he find at the bottom of the ocean? Nothing. Just a pile of plastic bags and garbage. That's right. Human trash has made it to the most remote depths of our planet. Why does exploring the deep sea matter? Believe it or not, studying the deepest parts of the ocean could help us understand the universe. By exploring the limits of life on Earth, we can predict where life might exist beyond our planet. One thing we've already learned: life doesn't need sunlight to survive. This means alien life doesn't have to be near a star. It could exist in the dark, icy oceans of moons like Europa or Enceladus. But one thing remains non-negotiable: water. A staggering 94% of life on Earth exists in water. Land creatures like us, we're actually the rare ones. Even though we live on land, we still depend on water to survive. So far, scientists have found no known life that can survive without water. But there are microorganisms that can do something fascinating. They can pause life itself. Some microscopic life forms enter a state of suspended animation when deprived of water. No metabolism, no movement, no sign of life. But the moment they get just one drop of water, they come back to life instantly. What else is out there, waiting to be discovered? Perhaps somewhere in a vast, dark universe. There are other creatures just waiting for the right conditions to awaken. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. It really means a lot to me. Your support is my biggest motivation to keep creating. Thank you, and see you in the next one.